Hey, gorgeous souls, I'm Rebecca, and I'm about to tell you the most satisfying wedding revenge story that turned my sister's cruel seating humiliation into the moment I exposed her groom's affair and destroyed her perfect wedding, all because she chose to embarrass me in front of my cheating ex-husband and his new wife. When I arrived at my sister Kelly's wedding and discovered she'd seated me in the hallway like a rejected guest while my ex-husband David and his mistress-turned wife got front row seats, I was humiliated. But when Kelly's mother-in-law Linda smirked at my exile and whispered some people know their place, she had no idea that I just discovered Kelly's fiancé was cheating on her with Linda's own daughter, and I was about to announce it during the ceremony. But here's where this wedding seating revenge gets absolutely insane. The seating arrangement wasn't just cruel coincidence. Kelly had deliberately humiliated me to please David's new family because she was secretly dating David's brother and wanted to stay in their good graces. When I exposed both affairs during her vows, Kelly lost her husband, her boyfriend, and her reputation, while I got the most satisfying wedding disaster revenge ever. This story has everything: sister betrayal, wedding humiliation, affair exposure, family destruction, and the kind of ceremony sabotage that turned my hallway seat into the perfect vantage point to destroy my sister's fake perfect life. Y'all ready for this wedding disaster? Because this is how being seated in the hallway became the best seat in the house for revenge. Beautiful souls, let me take you back to 6 months ago when I thought my sister Kelly and I had finally moved past our childhood rivalry, completely unaware that she was planning to use my ex-husband's wedding attendance to publicly humiliate me at her own ceremony. I'm Rebecca Martinez, 31 years old, and I work as a marketing director while trying to rebuild my life after a devastating divorce from my cheating ex-husband David Thompson. My sister Kelly Martinez, 28, had always been the golden child in our family, prettier, more popular, and seemingly more successful at relationships and social situations. Kelly just has such natural charm, our parents would say, throughout our childhood. She makes friends so easily and always knows how to handle social situations. Growing up, Kelly had consistently received more attention and praise from our family, while I was seen as the responsible but less exciting sister. Rebecca is so reliable and hardworking, our parents would say, but Kelly just lights up every room she enters. The sister dynamic had continued into adulthood, with Kelly often getting preferential treatment and support from our family during difficult times. Kelly needs more help because she's more sensitive. Our mother would explain when I pointed out the unequal treatment 3 years ago. My marriage to David had ended catastrophically when I discovered he'd been having multiple affairs throughout our 5-year relationship. David just isn't ready for commitment, Kelly had said about my divorce, somehow making his cheating sound like my failure rather than his betrayal. Kelly had remained friendly with David after our divorce, claiming she needed to stay neutral for family harmony. Despite knowing about his infidelity, David had quickly remarried his final affair partner, Jennifer Walsh, creating a new family dynamic that Kelly seemed eager to accommodate. David and Jennifer seem really happy together, Kelly would tell me regularly. Maybe his first marriage just wasn't the right fit. Kelly's comments about David's new marriage were consistently hurtful, suggesting that his cheating was somehow justified by finding true love with Jennifer. Some people just need to find their real soulmate, Kelly would say about David's quick remarriage, implying that our marriage had been illegitimate. David's new wife Jennifer was younger, wealthier, and came from a prominent local family that Kelly found impressive and socially valuable. Jennifer's family is so successful and well-connected, Kelly would gush about my replacement. They own several businesses and know everyone important in town. Kelly had begun cultivating relationships with David's new extended family, particularly Jennifer's mother Linda Walsh, who was influential in local social circles, Linda Walsh, has been so welcoming to me, Kelly would tell our family. She's invited me to several exclusive events and introduced me to important people. I'd noticed Kelly distancing herself from me while growing closer to David's new family, but I'd attributed it to her desire to avoid divorce drama. Kelly is just trying to keep the peace. I thought about her behavior. She doesn't want to take sides in my divorce. Kelly's engagement to Marcus Chen, a successful financial advisor, had been announced 8 months ago with great fanfare and family celebration. Marcus is perfect for Kelly, our parents had guessed. He's successful, handsome, and comes from such a good family. Marcus seemed like an ideal match for Kelly, wealthy, socially connected, and willing to indulge her expensive tastes and social ambitions. Marcus understands Kelly's need for a beautiful lifestyle, our mother would say approvingly. He can provide the kind of life she deserves. Kelly's wedding planning had been elaborate and expensive, with every detail designed to showcase wealth and social status. This is going to be the wedding of the century, Kelly would announce about her plans. Everyone who matters will be there. The guest list included many of David's new family connections, particularly the Walsh family and their social circle. I want to make sure all our important friends are there. Kelly had explained her inclusive guest list, which seemed to prioritize David's new family over our own relatives. I'd offered to help with wedding planning, but Kelly had declined most of my suggestions and excluded me from major decisions. I have everything under control, Kelly would tell me. Wedding planning is really a bride's personal vision. Kelly's wedding planning seemed designed to impress David's new family rather than celebrate her relationship with Marcus or include our family meaningfully. As Kelly's wedding approached, I'd asked about seating arrangements and my role in the ceremony, expecting normal sister inclusion in wedding activities. Rebecca, I'm keeping the wedding party small and intimate, Kelly had told me when I asked about being a bridesmaid. Just my closest friends who really understand my vision. Kelly's bridesmaids included Jennifer's younger sister and several friends from David's social circle, but none of our childhood friends or family members. Kelly's bridesmaids are so elegant and sophisticated, our mother had commented approvingly. They'll look beautiful in the photos. When I asked about seating arrangements, Kelly had been vague and dismissive about my placement at the reception. Everyone will be seated appropriately, Kelly had said without providing specific information. I'm working with a professional wedding planner to handle all the details. I'd assumed I would be seated with family or close friends, given my status as Kelly's only sister. Kelly will make sure you're comfortable, our parents had assured me when I expressed concern about the seating arrangements. The week before the wedding, Kelly had seemed increasingly nervous and evasive when discussing wedding details with me. I just want everything to be perfect, Kelly would say when I tried to discuss logistics. There's so much pressure to make this wedding special. I'd noticed Kelly spending more time with David's family than with our own relatives during wedding preparations. The Walsh family has such high standards for social events. Kelly would explain her focus on impressing them. I want to make sure they approve of the wedding. Looking back, Kelly's behavior suggested she was prioritizing David's family's approval over our sibling relationship, but I hadn't understood the extent of her betrayal. Asterisk gorgeous souls. Kelly's wedding day became the most humiliating experience of my life when I discovered she deliberately seated me in the hallway while giving my cheating ex-husband and his new wife places of honor to curry favor with people who had destroyed my marriage. I arrived at Kelly's wedding venue, the prestigious Rosewood Country Club, dressed elegantly and expecting to be seated with family or close friends as Kelly's sister. The venue was decorated beautifully with thousands of dollars in flowers and elegant details that showcased Kelly's expensive taste and social ambitions. This wedding must have cost $100,000, I thought while admiring the elaborate decorations and high-end catering setup. When I approached the guest seating coordinator to find my assigned table, I was shocked by what I discovered. Rebecca Martinez, the coordinator, checked her list. "You're seated in the overflow area in the hallway outside the main ballroom. I'm sorry, there must be some mistake," I told her. "I'm Kelly's sister. I should be seated with family. Let me double check," the coordinator said uncomfortably. "Yes, you're definitely assigned to hallway seating." Table H-1 single quotes. I walked to the hallway and found a small, poorly positioned table with a view of the ceremony through the ballroom doorway, but clearly outside the main event. Kelly seated me in the hallway like an unwanted guest. I realized with growing humiliation and anger. The hallway seating was obviously intended for people who weren't important enough for main ballroom placement, distant relatives, or a last-minute additions. Kelly deliberately excluded me from her wedding while making it look like I was invited. I understood her cruel manipulation. While exploring the main ballroom to understand the seating arrangements, I made the devastating discovery that added insult to my humiliation. David and Jennifer were seated at table 2, directly behind the immediate family in premium ceremony. Viewing positions, Kelly gave my cheating ex-husband better seating than she gave me, I realized with shock and rage. David and Jennifer were positioned where they could see everything clearly and be seen by other guests. As important wedding attendees, Kelly prioritized David's comfort and social status over her own sister's dignity. I processed the deliberate cruelty. Jennifer's mother, Linda Walsh, was seated at the head table with Kelly's immediate family, given a position of honor typically reserved for close relatives. Linda Walsh has better seating than Kelly's own sister. I observed the twisted family priorities. Other members of David's new extended family were seated at premium tables throughout the ballroom while I was exiled to the hallway. Kelly redesigned her family hierarchy to please David's new wife's family. I understood her motivation for the humiliating seating arrangement. The seating plan made it clear that Kelly valued her relationship with David's new family more than her relationship with me. As I stood in the hallway processing my humiliation, Linda Walsh approached me with a satisfied smirk that made her pleasure in my exile obvious. "Rebecca, how nice to see you," Linda said with fake sweetness that barely concealed her glee about my seating situation. "I see you found your seat," Linda continued while glancing toward my hallway table. Kelly was so thoughtful about placing everyone appropriately. "Some people understand their place in family dynamics," Linda added with obvious satisfaction about my exclusion from the main event. "Kelly has such good judgment about social relationships," Linda continued her veiled insults. "She knows who really matters in her life." Linda's comments were clearly designed to emphasize that I'd been demoted in Kelly's priorities while David's new family had been elevated. "Jennifer and David are so happy that Kelly included them in such a meaningful way," Linda said while gesturing toward their premium seating. "It shows real maturity that Kelly has moved past old family drama," Linda added, implying that my presence was the drama rather than David's cheating. Linda's cruel satisfaction with my humiliation revealed that the seating arrangement had been deliberately planned to embarrass me. Linda Walsh is enjoying my public humiliation. I realized about her motivations for approaching me. The interaction made it clear that Kelly had discussed her plan to exile me with Linda, who approved of treating me as a second-class family member. While enduring Linda's verbal humiliation, I overheard a conversation between Kelly's bridesmaids that revealed the true reason for my cruel treatment. Kelly was so smart to keep Rebecca away from the main tables, one bridesmaid said to another. The Walsh family wouldn't have approved of too much divorce drama. Kelly needs to maintain good relationships with David's family, another bridesmaid replied. Especially since she's dating Tyler Walsh, the first bridesmaid confirmed. David's brother. I thought that was supposed to be secret. Kelly's been seeing Tyler for months, the second bridesmaid revealed. That's why she's been so careful about managing family relationships. I was shocked to learn that Kelly had been secretly dating David's brother Tyler while planning her wedding to Marcus. Kelly is having an affair with Tyler Walsh while engaged to Marcus. I processed this devastating information. Kelly humiliated me to please David's family because she's cheating on her fiancé with David's brother. I understood her true motivations. The seating arrangement wasn't just about social status, it was about Kelly protecting her secret affair by proving her loyalty to the Walsh family. Kelly sacrificed our sibling relationship to cover up her own infidelity. I realized the extent of her betrayal. The cruel irony was that Kelly was condemning me for being a divorced woman while secretly cheating on her own fiancé. Learning about Kelly's affair while enduring public humiliation motivated me to plan immediate and devastating revenge. Kelly is cheating on Marcus while humiliating me for being divorced. I thought with growing anger, she's going to pay for this hypocrisy. I had comprehensive evidence of Kelly's affair from overhearing the bridesmaids' conversation and observing her behavior with the Walsh family. Kelly's been prioritizing David's family because she's sleeping with Tyler. I connected all the pieces of her manipulative behavior. I also realized that Linda Walsh's satisfaction with my humiliation was partly because she knew about Kelly's affair with her son Tyler. Linda Walsh is enjoying my exile because she thinks Kelly is going to be her daughter-in-law through Tyler. I understood the family dynamics. The wedding ceremony was about to begin, giving me the perfect opportunity to expose Kelly's affair. In front of everyone who mattered, Kelly wants a perfect wedding while living a lie. I plan my revenge. I'm going to give her exactly the wedding she deserves. The hallway seating had actually provided me with the perfect position to disrupt the ceremony without being immediately restrained by wedding security. Kelly thought she was humiliating me by putting me in the hallway. I realized. Instead, she gave me the perfect position to destroy her wedding. I began planning to expose Kelly's affair during the ceremony, ensuring that Marcus would learn the truth before making his vows. Beautiful souls, while sitting in my humiliating hallway exile, I used my phone to investigate Kelly's affair and gather evidence that would turn her perfect wedding into the most devastating public exposure of her cheating and lies. Using my phone during the pre-ceremony period, I began investigating Kelly's secret relationship with Tyler Walsh through social media and mutual connections. Kelly's Instagram posts from the past 6 months showed subtle evidence of her affair when viewed with knowledge of her relationship with Tyler. Weekend getaway with special friends was posted the same weekend Kelly had told our family she was doing wedding planning activities. Location tags on Kelly's posts matched Tyler Walsh's location posts during the same time periods, indicating they'd been together regularly. Dinner at Romano's with amazing company appeared on Kelly's Instagram the same night Tyler posted perfect evening with beautiful woman. Kelly had been careful not to post photos together, but the coordinated timing and locations proved they'd been having an ongoing relationship. Kelly and Tyler have been dating for at least 4 months while she's been engaged to Marcus. I documented the timeline through social media evidence. I also found evidence that Kelly had been lying to Marcus about her activities during her secret dates with Tyler. Kelly told Marcus she was at wedding dress fittings when she was actually on dates with Tyler. I discovered through comparing her stories with social media evidence. The social media investigation proved that Kelly's affair was extensive and ongoing, not just a momentary mistake. I also investigated the Walsh family dynamics to understand how Kelly's affair with Tyler affected the broader family relationships. And wedding politics. Tyler Walsh was David's younger brother and Linda Walsh's favorite son, which explained Linda's satisfaction with Kelly's apparent loyalty to their family. Tyler is Linda's precious baby boy I remembered hearing about. Walsh family dynamics during my marriage to David. Linda Walsh had been encouraging Kelly's relationship with Tyler because she wanted Kelly to become her daughter-in-law through Tyler rather than just a family friend. Linda prefers Kelly to Jennifer as a potential daughter-in-law. Understood the family politics behind my seating humiliation. Kelly's cultivation of relationships with the Walsh family hadn't been about staying neutral after my divorce. It had been about positioning herself for an affair with Tyler. Kelly befriended my ex-husband's family to get close to his brother. I realized the calculated nature of her betrayal. The Walsh family's preference for Kelly over Jennifer also explained why they'd supported humiliating me at the wedding. They want Kelly to replace Jennifer as their daughter-in-law. I understood why Linda Walsh had been so cruel about my seating arrangement. Kelly's secret affair was actually a family conspiracy to replace one relationship with another while maintaining Walsh family control. I also researched Marcus Chen to understand what kind of man Kelly was betraying and whether he deserved to know the truth before making his vows. Marcus's social media showed a man genuinely in love with Kelly who had been posting romantic messages about their upcoming marriage. Can't wait to marry the most amazing woman in the world tomorrow, Marcus had posted the day before the wedding. Kelly makes me want to be the best version of myself, Marcus had written in earlier posts about their relationship. Marcus had been making significant financial investments in their shared future, including purchasing an expensive house and planning an elaborate honeymoon. Marcus just bought a $500,000 house for their marriage. I discovered through his real estate posts and family connections. Asterisk. Marcus's family had been equally excited about the wedding and had flown in from California for the ceremony. Marcus's elderly grandparents traveled across the country to attend this wedding. I learned about the family investment in Kelly's lives. Marcus clearly had no idea about Kelly's affair and was genuinely committed to their marriage and shared future. Marcus deserves to know that Kelly has been cheating on him before he legally commits to a lying woman. I decided about exposing the affair. The investigation convinced me that Marcus was an innocent victim who needed protection from Kelly's deception. With comprehensive evidence of Kelly's affair, I planned the perfect timing and method to expose her cheating during the wedding ceremony. I need to reveal Kelly's affair at the moment when it will have maximum impact. I strategized about timing. The traditional wedding ceremony included a moment when the officiant asks if anyone objects to the marriage, providing the perfect opportunity for exposure. When the minister asks for objections, I'll present evidence of Kelly's affair. With Tyler Walsh, I planned my intervention. I also prepared to address Marcus directly, ensuring he would understand the evidence and Kelly's betrayal before making his vows. Marcus deserves to hear the truth from someone who has proof rather than empty accusations. I planned my presentation. I took screenshots of social media evidence and prepared to show location data and timeline proof of Kelly's affair during my objection. I'll present clear evidence that Kelly has been cheating rather than just making claims. I organized my documentation. The hallway seating actually provided strategic advantages for my planned exposure. I could see the entire ceremony while having quick access to exits if needed. Kelly thought she was punishing me with hallway seating, I realized. Instead, she gave me the perfect position to destroy her wedding. I also observed that Tyler Walsh was present at the wedding as a groomsman, providing additional dramatic impact when I revealed his affair with the bride. Tyler is standing at the altar as Marcus's groomsman while secretly sleeping with Kelly. I noted the incredible hypocrisy of the situation. As the ceremony began, I prepared mentally and emotionally for the dramatic confrontation that would destroy Kelly's wedding and expose her lies. Kelly humiliated me publicly to protect her affair. I reminded myself about her motivations for cruel treatment. She chose to embarrass her own sister rather than end her infidelity. I reinforced my justification for revenge. I also considered the broader impact of exposing Kelly's affair on our family and the wedding guests. Marcus and his family deserve to know the truth before they're legally bound to Kelly's lies. I justified my planned intervention. Kelly made her choice when she decided to cheat and humiliate me. I prepared for the consequences of my exposure. The ceremony was about to reach the objection moment, giving me the opportunity to turn Kelly's perfect wedding into her complete humiliation. Kelly wanted a memorable wedding. I thought while preparing to speak, I'm going to give her exactly that. The irony was perfect. Kelly had seated me in the hallway to hide me from important guests, but that position would allow me to address the entire wedding assembly. Kelly's cruel seating arrangement is going to backfire spectacularly. I anticipated her shock and horror when I revealed her affair. I was ready to turn my humiliation into Kelly's destruction and Marcus's protection from a lying, cheating fiancé. Gorgeous souls. The moment when the minister asked for objections became the most spectacular wedding destruction when I exposed Kelly's affair from my hallway exile, destroying her marriage and reputation while giving Marcus the truth he deserved. Kelly's wedding ceremony began with elaborate fanfare, featuring expensive flower arrangements and a string quartet that emphasized the social prestige she'd been desperately seeking. Kelly walked down the aisle in a $15,000 designer dress, beaming with satisfaction about her perfect wedding and successful social climbing. Marcus stood at the altar looking genuinely emotional and happy, clearly believing he was marrying the woman of his dreams. Marcus has no idea that his bride has been cheating on him with his groomsman Tyler. I observed the tragic irony of the scene. Tyler Walsh stood beside Marcus as a groomsman, smirking slightly as he watched his secret lover marry another man. Tyler is enjoying the deception and humiliation of Marcus. I noted his obvious pleasure in the betrayal. Linda Walsh sat in the front row with obvious satisfaction, believing she was watching Kelly commit to eventually becoming her daughter-in-law through Tyler. David and Jennifer occupied their premium seats, clearly pleased with their elevated status at Kelly's wedding. Everyone who humiliated me is about to witness Kelly's complete destruction. I prepared for the perfect revenge moment. The ceremony proceeded through traditional vows and readings, building toward the objection moment that would destroy Kelly's facade. When the minister reached the traditional objection moment, I stood up from my hallway table and addressed the entire wedding assembly. I object to this marriage, I announced clearly, my voice carrying throughout the ballroom and hallway. The entire wedding assembly turned toward me in shock, with Kelly's face showing immediate horror at my intervention. "Rebecca, sit down," Kelly hissed from the altar. "You're embarrassing yourself and ruining my wedding. Kelly, you're the one who should be embarrassed," I replied while walking toward the ceremony area. "Marcus deserves to know who he's really marrying." Marcus. "Kelly has been having an affair with Tyler Walsh for the past 4 months," I announced to the shocked groom. Marcus's face went white as he processed my accusation and looked between Kelly and Tyler with growing understanding. "That's ridiculous," Kelly said desperately. "Rebecca is just jealous and trying to ruin my happiness because she's divorced. I have proof," I replied while pulling out my phone. "Social media evidence showing Kelly and Tyler together on dates when she told you she was doing wedding planning." I displayed screenshots showing coordinated posts and location data proving Kelly and Tyler's relationship. Here's Kelly posting romantic dinner the same night. Tyler posted perfect evening with beautiful woman. I presented the evidence clearly. As I presented comprehensive evidence of Kelly's affair, the wedding assembly erupted in shock and horror. Kelly told you she was at dress fittings when she was actually on weekend getaways with Tyler. I continued presenting timeline evidence. Tyler's face showed panic as he realized his affair was being exposed publicly with undeniable proof. Tyler, is this true? Marcus asked his groomsman directly, have you been sleeping with Kelly? Tyler's inability to deny the evidence made his guilt obvious to everyone present. Marcus, I can explain, Tyler said weakly. But his admission confirmed the affair. Linda Walsh looked horrified as she realized her son's affair was being exposed at Kelly's wedding. Linda, your son has been cheating with Kelly while she's engaged to Marcus. I addressed her directly. This is the family loyalty you were so proud of. Marcus removed his ring and handed it back to Kelly while addressing the wedding assembly. This wedding is canceled, Marcus announced. I won't marry someone who's been lying and cheating. Throughout our engagement, Kelly broke down crying as she realized her perfect wedding had become her complete public humiliation. Rebecca, you've ruined everything, Kelly screamed at me. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Kelly, you ruined your own wedding when you chose to cheat on Marcus and humiliate me. I replied calmly. Asterisk the affair exposure triggered immediate confrontations between family members as the full extent of Kelly's deception became clear. Marcus's family was horrified to learn that they'd traveled across the country to witness Kelly marry their son while she was cheating with another man. We welcomed Kelly into our family and she's been lying to us for months, Marcus's mother said with disgust. Our parents were shocked and embarrassed to learn about Kelly's affair and her cruel treatment of me. Kelly, how could you cheat on Marcus and treat Rebecca so badly? Our mother demanded. I can't believe you humiliated your own sister too. Cover up your infidelity, our father added with obvious disappointment. Linda Walsh confronted Tyler about his role in destroying Marcus's wedding and Kelly's reputation. Tyler, you've disgraced our family by having an affair with an engaged woman, Linda said angrily. Kelly seduced Tyler. Linda tried to defend her son. She's the one who broke her engagement vows. Linda, you encouraged Kelly's relationship with your family to facilitate this affair. I pointed out her complicity. David and Jennifer looked uncomfortable as they realized their elevated wedding status was connected to Kelly's cheating scandal. We had no idea Kelly was using our family connections to cover up an affair, Jennifer said defensively. The wedding assembly began, leaving as the ceremony collapsed into family confrontations and public humiliation. Kelly's wedding destruction became the social scandal that ended her reputation in our community and cost her multiple relationships. Kelly Chen's wedding was canceled when her affair was exposed during the ceremony, became the gossip story that defined her locally. Marcus publicly ended their engagement and demanded reimbursement for wedding expenses and the house he'd purchased. Kelly owes Marcus over $150,000 for wedding costs and property investments. The financial consequences of her affair became public knowledge. Tyler Walsh was fired from his job when his employer learned about his role in the wedding scandal. Tyler's affair with an engaged woman reflects poor judgment and character. His employer explained the termination. Kelly lost her job as a marketing coordinator when her company decided her personal scandal reflected badly on their professional image. Kelly's behavior shows a lack of integrity that's incompatible with client relationships, her employer stated. Our extended family cut contact with Kelly due to her cheating and cruel treatment of me during the wedding. Kelly's actions show a character that we can't support or associate with. Relatives explained their decision to shun her. Kelly was forced to move back in with our parents after losing her apartment and job due to the scandal. Kelly went from planning a perfect wedding to losing everything in one day. I observed her complete downfall. Kelly's wedding destruction completely vindicated my character while exposing her hypocrisy and cruelty. Rebecca saved Marcus from marrying a cheating liar. Family members acknowledged my role in protecting an innocent man. Kelly's treatment of Rebecca was inexcusable, especially while she was hiding her own infidelity. Relatives expressed support for me. Marcus publicly thanked me for exposing Kelly's affair before he made a legal commitment to someone who was betraying him. Rebecca had the courage to tell me the truth when no one else would, Marcus said about my intervention. I developed a friendship with Marcus based on our shared experience of Kelly's betrayal and deception. Rebecca and Marcus bonded over surviving Kelly's lies. Friends observed our supportive relationship. The wedding scandal also exposed the Walsh family's manipulative behavior and their role in my humiliation. The Walsh family encouraged Kelly's cruel treatment of Rebecca to protect Tyler's affair. Community members understood the broader conspiracy. Linda Walsh's satisfaction with my hallway seating was revealed as part of her plan to help Kelly transition from Marcus to Tyler. Linda Walsh thought she was facilitating Kelly becoming her daughter-in-law through Tyler. I explained her motivations. My hallway seating, which had been intended as humiliation, became the perfect position to save Marcus and destroy Kelly's lies. Rebecca turned her exile into the perfect vantage point for justice. People commented about my revenge. That's how you handle a sister who humiliates you at her wedding while hiding her own affair, y'all. You use her cruelty as motivation to expose her lies and protect innocent people from her deception. Sometimes the best revenge comes from simply telling the truth at exactly the right moment. Kelly thought she could humiliate me to cover up her infidelity, but her cruel seating arrangement gave me the perfect position to destroy her wedding. Never let family members sacrifice your dignity to protect their own lies, gorgeous souls. Truth and justice always find a way to emerge. Kelly's hallway seating was meant to hide me from important guests, but it actually gave me the perfect platform to expose her affair to everyone who needed to know. Today, Marcus and I remain good friends while Kelly continues to face the consequences of her cheating and cruelty. Rebecca's courage to speak up saved me from the biggest mistake of my life. Marcus often tells people about our friendship. Kelly learned that public humiliation and family betrayal have consequences that can destroy everything you think you've built. And gorgeous souls, if this story resonated with you, if you've faced family humiliation or been betrayed by siblings who prioritize others over family loyalty, I want you to know that you have the power to stand up for yourself and protect others from deception. If you want to hear more stories like this, more tales of wedding revenge, family justice, and truth triumphing over lies, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Your support means everything to me, beautiful souls. Every like, every comment, every share helps me reach more people who need to hear these stories. So smash that subscribe button. Leave me a comment about your own experiences with family betrayal and wedding drama. And let's build a community of people who refuse to let family members sacrifice our dignity for their own selfish purposes. I'll see you gorgeous souls in the next story. And remember, never let anyone humiliate you to protect their own lies. Speak up when you have the truth. And always remember that the best seat for revenge is wherever you can see clearly.